It's July 31st, uh, going into August. July 31st, 2023. And yeah, it's crystal clear eyes, crystal bridges, crystal storms, actually. I look forward to changing my name, you know, to my father's last name, because I've done a lot and gone very far, without a bridge, Uh, but yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know, I'm old school, born 1969, so things like the internet, I never really cared for. I was one of the last people saw cell phones, shit like that. Never really cared for computers. I liked because I could use that, to write my manuscript, my memoir, my autobiography, Sliding Down Sugar Hill, which I did write that. I have it here, but I have to do some editing and ads because y'all, a lot of stuff has happened since I wrote that, including my sister being murdered, including my family turning on me and turning against me, even my best friend, my neighbors, trying to bully me and attack me, my neighbors. Now the things with my family and my best friend, that's separate personal issues, and I'll deal with them later, you know, because they have a lot to answer for too. I refuse to live in houses of secrets and lies with y'all, and then the stuff that happened with my neighbors banding together to bully me, some of them, not all of them, for not allowing their kids to bully my kid, my son, or like the Africans next door, or not allowing their men, pedophile, pervert, pedo men, to look in my window at my daughter, who they denied. But my daughter was the one who told me, and she was 12 years old. I never accused them or even knew anything about it because I'm not a hanging out the window type of person, you know. Though I do like to have fresh air, be able to see the sun, the moon, the stars, or whatever, feel the breeze. That's how all this began. But now I want y'all to know how it's all going to end because see, when y'all look back, I thank God now for the internet, YouTube, and things like that, cell phones, which I really couldn't stand. I despise them because you know why? They're distractions. They're just put out there to distract you. They market it to you as though it's family friendly. It's going to help your family come together. You're going to have a great time. Look, look, look. That's how they market it. But in fact, they're really just distractions, and things to keep you entertained and distract you from, what's going on with all the money that's being spent by the government. And so that's why I want y'all to pay close attention because, as I said, I study behavior patterns, and this is not about particularly me or y'all or anyone. It's about the behavior pattern I see unfolding. So that when y'all look back after I'm long gone, because I'm old, hey, it's not guaranteed that you make it to 100. I mean, God willing, God forbid that, but that's in God's hands. I don't feel I'm gonna make it to 100, but in any case, I want when y'all look back, thank God for the internet. Thank you, God, that y'all realize that this old lady who y'all thought was real stupid and all of that that I'm letting y'all know, this is the part of like, when a roller coaster ride goes up and then it reaches the top and starts to go down and pick up speed. I study behavior patterns and civilizations have risen and fallen. Many, many, and I've noticed there's a behavior pattern with that too. You wanna know what it is? I know y'all don't know. Does any of y'all know? I know, I'll tell you. Any civilization that has been based upon a slave or servant and master based economy, economic structure is bound and inevitably bound to fail. It's the descendants of the slave breeding program's genetic principle that I discovered. Why? Because when you have that slave and master structure, the slaves are uneducated, they're abused, they're raped, they're brainwashed to be abused like an abused dog, animal. And then, well, when that happens, and then those slaves eventually become free. Remember, the master now has all these slaves, and the elite have these slaves and servants doing all the work for them, taking care of them, taking care of their children, driving them here, bodyguarding them, doing all the work, the heavy lifting, whether it's in the businesses and the fields like the slaves had to do or whatever. Now they're lazy, they're dependent. And then when the slaves are eventually freed, either rise up in a revolt or are freed, Those slaves now, they're uneducated. They've been trained to these toxic behavior patterns of allowing their families to be ripped apart, women to be raped, and children sold, and families torn apart, men abused, killed, all of that. Uneducated. Huh? And then y'all want to talk about, turn around and talk about be all you could be, when this has been going on for generations. That's why these civilizations fail. You know, it's inevitable, bound to fail. You have all these slave-based economies that when they don't have that slave or servant structure going on, they collapse. And so now here we are, we come to the part where I show y'all how intelligent I am. You know what I'm saying? Like for my family, I have questions for y'all. Like, how could y'all think and try to portray me as some tragic black sheep of the family, but y'all forgot the part where many of the men in my family I was growing up with sexually abused me. 8, 9 of them. Family, friends, my mother's boyfriends, all of that. And there are a couple who are dead, like Stevie, like my grandfather, like, Stevie's dead, my grandfather's dead. But the rest of y'all, I will be coming for y'all. Like, right, cousin Renee? That's why you got off my Facebook page when I told you stop coming on my Facebook page with that fake spiritual bullshit, them little fake spiritual, you throw little comments and shit. But never reached out to me personally as family to see how I was doing. Don't worry, I'll get back to you about the sexual abuse she did to me as a kid. And the rest of y'all too are still alive. Anyway, so we'll move on to like I said, this is the part of that roller coaster. I like roller coaster rides, though I don't do them no more because I'm old. But when a roller coaster goes up slowly, that's what's been happening in this country. As all this bullshit's been going on. And this country, which is one of the greatest civilizations ever made on this planet, like Egypt. I got questions for Egypt too. But before, like Egypt. Egypt was one of the greatest civilizations, but you know what I noticed? There was a gap there after the slaves were free. All of a sudden, they lost their history for a long time. There's a blank in their history that I wonder, so why Egypt? How come y'all have this huge gap in y'all history? Like, what happened that y'all were this great advanced civilization and now, look where y'all at now, just basically tourism, luring in tourists to see the greatness that once was. But, your economy seems to be basically based on tourism now that the, slave-based economy of Egypt, one of the greatest civilizations with the pyramids and all that, collapsed. Why did that collapse? And what happened to all of that knowledge that y'all had from that great civilization, concerning the building of the pyramids and stuff like that? Why is that knowledge no longer available? How did y'all lose that knowledge? What happened? What happened with was it the lack of education and all those slaves? Or what happened? What happened to your history, that big blank? I got questions for Egypt, or for the Africans. We'll get to the Africans later. But like I said, definitely the Africans, because they like to act like they're against slavery and racism. How do they figure? I don't understand. There's a psychological disconnect. There's a mental disconnect, reality disconnect going on in all of y'all. And slavery still goes on in Africa. A lot of their people flee to countries everywhere across the globe to get away from their own countries. And they say they're great. Now, I'm not going to dispute there's greatness there. There's greatness everywhere. But if your country is so great as you try to portray to, like, us black American folks, like we're stupid, then why are all your people fleeing all across the globe to get away from your country? Your countries with their collapsed economies. Tell me about it. Talk to me about that. Because it doesn't make sense. Or how y'all could think black people want to go back to Africa. I don't know why you'd even promote that. It doesn't make sense to me. My ancestors got over here because your ancestors sold them to the white man over here. And y'all still have a slave trade going on that you deny. The Arabs participated in too, enslaving the Africans to this day, and y'all deny. So no, I wouldn't want to go back there to watch y'all use as a tourism site the castles and shit the prisons where you had my people, my ancestors crammed in there like in cages like animals. Where the misery, you could feel the misery sweating out the walls still, even looking at the video on YouTube. Why would I want to go back there? As a tourism, for y'all to say, oh, imagine what it felt like when you walked through the door of no return. I'll punch the motherfucker in the mouth when they said that. No, had to kick me out the fucking country. I can feel my ancestors' pain in my DNA to this day. But getting back to here, my people here at the country, in my country, America. So anyway, I want y'all to realize I'm so glad for the internet so that y'all can know. This is the part. See, it's simple economics. 1 + 1 = 2 all day, motherfuckers. See? And y'all are so busy being distracted by everything the elites promote to you to sell to you for their businesses so they can be rich. Shit like cell phones that the man who created cell phones wouldn't let his own kids have one. Y'all ain't pay attention to that? Okay. Or whatever, or how they promote. Y'all should be unarmed. Just like Hitler promoted that shit. You know. Or just like the leader of Venezuela promoted that shit. Or like they do in China. You know, and want to de-arm American citizens who have the Second Amendment right, you know, to bear arms to protect themselves from their own government. Because that's how this country was formed when they left from Britain and all that. They were tired of being under Britain's rule and being a colony with Britain's, the monarchy's, you know, boot on their neck, you know, and they wanted to be free and all that. Okay, that's great principles, but it's not being lived. It's not being acted. So I want y'all to realize that this is the part of the roller coaster when, you know, it reaches the top. It's so fun. And then it starts to go down and pick up speed. And that shit is great when you're on a roller coaster because you're strapped in, you're safe. Then this roller coaster ride, the economy is going to crash and civilization is going to crash just like every other. And so this is one of the greatest civilizations in the world. America made a great country, but I want y'all to all realize when you look back later after I'm dead and gone, hopefully it won't happen while I'm still living. Hopefully, you know, I'll be dead. See, I'll be lucky if I'm dead and gone before it happens. There's going to be anarchy here. You know why? Because it's simple economics. Shit y'all don't study. I told y'all I study, I read, and I pay attention. I look at history. 1 + 1 = 2. And so when you have a country that is dependent upon its citizens for the tax dollars that supports the economy, but are abusing and crushing the citizens, and I'm speaking up for the white folks too, I'm speaking for everybody who's a citizen and every legal immigrant. Because even the legal immigrants are sounding the alarm that they're seeing things going on here that are exactly the same that was going on in their countries where they ran from brutal dictatorships and all that kind of shit, oppression, suppression of media, suppression of freedom of speech, all of that. And when they speak up, they are called racist or all kinds of shit. They're called all kinds of crazy shit. Well, I'll speak up for them too. You know? Or for the illegal people who just come here and try to actually be a part of the community and not be a problem. Because I have to understand some illegal folks who come here, I used to think all legal immigration was bad. It's not. Some folks really come here because they're in serious need. Okay, but there's a lot of folks who game the system with the fake asylum bullshit. And so what I want to let y'all know is while y'all busy out there partying and having a great time, y'all need to know I pay attention to economics. 1 + 1 = 2 all day, motherfuckers. So while the COVID thing went on, that was very overblown. They said it was the worst plague that hit mankind. I pay attention to history. Wasn't that the Black Plague? Where bodies were piled up in the streets, they had to burn bodies and all. Did anybody see any of that going on here? So then no, it wasn't the worst. And they closed down the economy, certain parts of the economy. Middle class businesses, small businesses, but kept open the big corporations. You know, the businesses owned by that top 1%, they kept their business open. You know, Walmarts, Targets, etc. Because COVID skips over you, it hops over you in their businesses. You know, it would have got you in the small mom and pop businesses that they closed, that many of them did not reopen. That's less tax dollars coming in. Okay? But then, not only that, but then they put in all kinds of things into place where, you know, they got more and more people coming across the border talking about they're immigrants. No, sir. Immigrants came here. They came and were inspected. They were respectful. They came here to be a part of American culture, not tear it down, tear it up, or American communities, not change them and change the languages. They learned their language. They did not come with their hand out looking for any freebies like welfare. There was no welfare when immigrants were coming through Ellis Island. They came in. They knew they had to struggle to get it, to make it. That's the American way. Well, that's what it's, you know, that's supposed to be the ideal of it. But in fact, you know, white Americans have always, their culture that they've got ahead is by taking from other cultures and oppressing and enslaving other cultures. Colonizing them. You know what colonizing is? That's when the motherfucker latches onto you and starts leeching and leeching and leeching out of you. Taking from you. Giving you back nothing but misery and subjugation. and then telling you they're helping you by giving you, the religion of their choice. And make no mistake about it, I believe in God, I believe in the prophets, and I believe in the holy books. God, Allah, I believe in Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, Abraham. I believe in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, and any other holy books that I may have missed that are valid and based in spiritual principles. But they seem, do you notice that the white folks, they come and they suck? Their culture seems to be of oppression, a culture of oppressing and taking from other cultures, of abusing. And what do they give back in return? Religion. Let me tell you about it. You gonna get your reward. You slave, obey your slave master, and you gonna get your reward in heaven when you die. Well, we get all our rewards right now. Right now. And do you notice? And they say turn the other cheek, but they don't turn the other cheek. They go everywhere, bringing war, oppression, and taking their culture seems to be a culture of taking from other cultures and oppressing other cultures, and just going all over a conquest culture. That seems to be their culture. And so while y'all busy not paying attention, I am. And I want you to realize, like I said, 1 + 1 = 2 all day. Now, so you got less tax dollars coming in. Is that what we're saying? Less tax dollars coming in. Middle class being crushed by endless rules, regulations, taxes, enforcement of all of this, being bullied, harassed, parents being bullied, harassed if they say that, listen, I'm the decision maker in my child's life, because at the end of the day, anything that goes on in my child's life, whether it's a trans issue or whether it's an issue concerning jobs or colleges or self-identity or anything, when it comes down to paying for those issues or any negative consequences that unforeseen results of those things, like the transgender surgeries and stuff, who's responsible to pay for it at the end of the day? The parent. When it comes time to deal with the tragic or negative results, they say, oh, you got to talk to your parent about that. You got to talk to your mom, your dad about that. And that's who should be making decisions. Mom, dad, and doctor, and whoever is their spiritual advisor. Or mom, dad, and doctor. And then spiritual advisor, maybe, could have some insight. But at the end of the day, look, like I said, 1 + 1 = 2 all day. While y'all busy worrying about all that, talking about words of violence, while kids are being killed, abused, we got crime going through the roof, motherfucking theft gangs, thievery gangs running all over the country, drugs all over the country. We didn't have that shit before all that illegal immigration started. And they started letting all of them in to fund to work the drug trade. The drug trade that blew up in the 80s. I know, I was right there on 160, so don't try to miss me with the bullshit. I know what it was like before it happened, being born in 1969, and I know what it's like now after. And so I want y'all to think about 1 + 1 = 2. We got less tax dollars coming in, middle class being crushed, so that'll be less tax dollars as they collapse. Americans who are homeless, Americans who can't get jobs. Can't get jobs in America because they're all being given to the foreigners who want to come here now and do the corruption shit that they were doing in their countries, to get ahead and step on black people and say black people do nothing. When black people for 400 years built this country for free. And so we got less and less coming in. Black folks, you better listen, because a lot of my folks and my peoples out there, poor folks, whether you black or whatever color, brown or whatever, depend on things like government benefits, food stamps, Section 8, this, that, welfare, SSI, whatever, this, that. So less money coming in and more people coming in, just coming right on in, not to immigrate and do and work hard, but we all, 80% of us, we need everything. We ain't got nothing. We got to have plenty of money all the way crossing all them countries to cover everything, including our phone bills, this and that. But now, once we cross this border, we ain't got nothing. We need the American government. You mean the American citizens, taxpayers, and the legal immigrants to take care of you and pay for you. But y'all didn't notice we got less money coming in? And more people coming in. That sounds like a sinking ship to me. How far does it have to go when you got less money coming in, More people coming in who need everything. And American, the top elite doing their corruption games with other elites of other countries while they do some kind of, I don't know what they're doing, laundering money or whatever they're doing, selling, pimping out the American tax dollars or whatever, all across the globe. To Ukraine, they gave how many billions and shit? How many billions all over giving out money while Americans can't get services and stuff in our own country, but the money that the tax dollars that's coming in from American citizens and legal immigrants goes everywhere, except, how long y'all think that shit gonna last? How long y'all gonna think before it's more coming in with the needs than less money coming? Y'all don't pay attention to economics, huh? I think you better, because this civilization here, this great country, is about to collapse under the policies y'all are doing right now. So there's going to come a time when it's going to be far too many more. Look how New York is right now. Now Mayor Adams is talking about, no more migrants, no more. No, but you're the one who invited them. You know, these liberals, they invite them. You know, Democrats or whatever, Democrats. How you invite them and make bullshit statements like, oh yeah, I'll put him here in Gracie Mansion. They're not. I mean, or whatever, where he stay down there. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a technicality. I can't do that. He knew that from the beginning he couldn't do it. So bullshit. So it was just basically y'all brought him in so y'all can get their votes, try to hurry up and see him, and do anything to make sure you can have vote ID, and blame it on black folks. Black folks too stupid to get a vote ID, though we get voter ID, get ID for everything else. You do see black folks driving with ID, right? You do see them going and applying for jobs with ID, right? And but too stupid to get that vote ID. We don't want a vote ID. We want to let all them folks keep coming in so we can hurry up and get them in here and they can vote for us. And we don't give a damn if they collapse the economy because we got plenty of money. We all right. Y'all okay with that at the bottom? Huh? So I want y'all to know 1 + 1 = 2, and y'all ain't paying attention than I do. And see, I'm lucky because, see, if I'm lucky, I'll be dead and gone before the economy collapses. Before so many come here with that fake-ass immigration shit that's really nothing more than fake illegal asylum claims that 80% of them don't get approved and 90% of them don't show up for their court date. But they do show up for their benefits. You can always find them, they can show up for their benefit dates, right? That's not immigration. See? That's abuse of the American people. You know, and so that's why I'm speaking up. Because my black people, we're being doubly abused. Because suddenly they got all this money for all this shit, but none for reparations for 400 years of free labor. Yo, y'all better wake the fuck up, done like I did, see? Because I'm not going to be letting motherfuckers pee down my leg and tell me it's raining, whether they're American elites or whether they foreigners begging for it, or anybody in between. Because all of y'all are living this, you know, houses of secrets and lies, corruption disconnect, reality disconnect. I guess y'all too busy partying, trying to look cute out there. Well, 1 + 1 = 2 all day, motherfuckers. You better check and go take an economics class. Because when this economy collapses, then this civilization will collapse, America. And I'm telling you, I'm predicting it right now. Now, look back. Thank God for the internet, so y'all can look back and see that I was very motherfucking right, yo. Now, anybody want to go with me to go visit Poppy? I'm going to take the Junior's cheesecake catalog up there with him and pick out a cheesecake. I'm gonna get him, you know, for a holiday or something. You know, I'm not gonna get it right now, but I want to pick one out so I know what he like. Anybody want to go with me? I was up there the other night. I was up there 2 nights ago. I went up there at midnight because, you know, I like to check on him, make sure he's all right. And he don't mind, but his daughter was there. She had to get up at 5 a.m. That's the kind of immigrants we love. She had to get up at 5 a.m. to go to work, and she was there taking care of her father overnight. You know, I'll walk over broken glass, crawl over broken glass for her and Poppy to welcome them to this country. But the rest of y'all, fuck y'all. And my black people too, who are full of shit and sit by while our communities are overrun with crime and corruption because y'all love shortcuts. And some of y'all just, you know, want to just blame the white man for the fact that y'all are not getting ahead when you really don't try. I want to remind y'all, just like I said, your kids are failing in school. A lot of kids, not just black, failing all across the country. And that also started when the illegal immigration started flooding our country as they came here to work in the drug trade. I know, because I was right there on 160. And thank God I got the high quality education before they started dumbing it down, lowering the standards, changing the tests, the SATs, and letting them opt out, saying it was too hard, it's white supremacist based, it's elite. I aced them tests. I aced them. You know why? Because I study and I read. I don't spend all my time hanging out in the street trying to look cute. Hanging out is the kiss of death to a person's life, to life's goals. Because then you're just standing there. You ain't getting ahead. You ain't in motion. You ain't doing nothing to get ahead. No goal, no plan, no timeline, and no action. But that's okay. Keep thinking I'm stupid. And watch as this economy collapses and our civilization collapses. I just predicted it. I see it happening within the next 50 years. Shit, it might happen within the next 10 at the rate they're going. But I say the next 50. I pray the next 50 because then I'll be gone by then. And y'all will still be here. And I guess y'all will realize I was right after all. You better check 1 + 1 = 2. And see what they're doing to the tax dollars. Less and less coming in, but they are trying to squeeze more and more out of Americans. And the white Americans, they're being abused too, I gotta say it. I never thought I would have to. But, this horror shit that I've seen here in my own community, my black and brown people, so-called people y'all have done to me, y'all minorities, yeah, I'm proud to stand up for Americans, including them too, because I understand half of them are racist, no doubt, but the other half, not racist. They don't want this type of shit in their communities, and I can see why. Look at the videos. YouTube, Renee Jimenez. YouTube, Crystal Clear Eyes. YouTube, Crystal Storms. Crystal Bridges. YouTube, Crystal Storms has arrived. Now, you still think I'm stupid or want to play the better than worse that game with me? You motherfuckers who said you wasn't looking in my window at my daughter. The very same window y'all broke. Huh? You wasn't looking in it, huh? Right. Video rolling.